your favourite tune. I tell it I'll be home soon.
Hello and welcome to the Indie Tea Talk podcast. I'm Adam and this is Kitty, your host for a journey into indie music across the north. Tune in as we explore unique melodies, chat with talented artists and create a space where you can discover your favourite artists like never before. Also, if you're new to Indie Tea Talk, please show your support by hitting that subscribe button. It's a really massive help to us, not just to us, but also to the amazing artists that we help support on this show. In today's episode, we're thrilled to have Danny Clement, an emerging indie pop folk artist from Leeds, joining us on the podcast. Danny's journey in music started at a young age, and his passion has led him to become a captivating performer and songwriter. From developing his live performances in pubs and bars around Newcastle to supporting the likes of Embrace and Chris Helm later this year, Danny is definitely one to watch in the next 12 months. So join us as we dive into his musical journey, his upcoming EP, Letters, and much more. Please give a warm welcome to Danny Clement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. How are you doing? You had a nice journey over today?
Yeah, it's not been too bad, just from Leeds, so yeah, all good.
It's not too much traffic?
No, it's all right.
So I suppose we should dive into it, really.
Yeah.
So you started playing guitar at around 12 years old. What kind of music influenced you in your early years?
So, maybe quite a basic answer for a 12-year-old, but it was Ed Sheeran, his first album. And I used to listen to it on repeat, walking to the bus stop on my way to school. And yeah, just that sort of solo artist, just him and his guitar with his loop pedal.
And
just class, like, I used to love it.
Did you have a loop pedal?
I did, and I bought one because of that.
Yeah.
I never had one because have you ever seen them go wrong on stage?
That's exactly the same as me.
Oh, it's awful.
Is it?
It's really bad.
That's how I thought of it.
I think I'd like to see that, actually.
Google it, loop pedals going wrong.
Yeah, so that's really what inspired me, to be honest. And yeah, I remember my first gig, I was 12, and my first song was 18.
Where was your first gig?
It was in a pub called The Grove in Leeds, and basically my guitar teacher at the time, he was class. He put on a gig, sort of it was called Sunday Afternoon Project, and he put on a gig, and it was just to sort of put his pupils in front of an audience.
Right.
And you got 3 songs, and I did that from about 12 up till 15, 16 when I was at school.
Right.
So that's how I started, really. But that was a great platform for me to kick on from. Yeah.
That sounds like a really interesting idea, to help get that sort of exposure and
yeah, especially from such a young age as well. 12 is a great time to start being exposed to gigging.
It was definitely unique, I think. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, my school as well. We used to do lunchtime gigs, and you'd get people like coming down, and so proper setup, lights, your mics and everything, and it'd be a proper do on a lunchtime. So yeah, in that regard, like growing up, I had such good support around me.
From performing at your school gigs to honing your craft around Newcastle, is it true that one of your best mates had to push you into giving it a good go?
Yeah, he did, yeah. So he's my best mate, but he's my bass player now as well.
Oh, right,
okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like he just wanted a band to play.
yeah, I know, yeah. So we did, I used to do gigs in Newcastle when I was at uni, and he came to one of the gigs, and he's so wise, like he's a legend, like everyone loves him, but I came off, I had like a break, and I went for sit with him and had a beer, and he was like, "You'd be so stupid not to give this a go," and I was like, yeah, well, and I did a degree, I was doing a degree at uni, and it was like, thinking about, everyone else is sort of thinking about jobs and stuff they want to go into. So I he said that, and I was like, okay, yeah. And he's like, you've got nothing to lose. Like, just do it for a couple of years and just see where it goes. Why not? Like, just write some songs and see what happens. And so I did, and I just like whenever I doubt it, I'd just hear his voice in my head
Yeah.
again.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? It was like,
Yeah.
no, I'll crack on. I'll keep going.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just turned out to be
Yeah.
something that, and I love it. Do you know what I mean now?
Yeah. It's that
And,
sometimes that external perspective can give you like,
Well,
You
and
know-
external confidence as well, because
yeah.
Andy and I were speaking earlier about that, saying, you know, musicians either have crippling self-doubt or a massive ego, and and it can go either way.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of us do need that external confidence of someone else saying, go on.
Where
You
are
know,
you
give it
sitting
a
on
go.
that timeline?
Oh, I don't know. Don't like to say, but no, he. That's exactly it. I think it's that external perspective for me, where it's like he just saw it from. You sort of have your head in it, don't you? And to me, my gigs at that time when I was at uni was just to earn money.
Right.
So it was like I enjoyed it to a point, but it's covers and it's in a bar, and I did enjoy it.
Yeah, is it right that so you only started writing your own songs the past few years? Is that right?
Yeah. So
That's awesome, man. Like listening to your songs, it doesn't sound like you're
thank you.
a fresh songwriter at all.
Thank you. It's quite I see it as a bit of a positive, to be honest. So I started writing music. My first song I wrote was maybe 3 years ago now, maybe 2 years ago. But I'm still sort of evolving in how I, what my music's going to sound like, and
Yeah.
I think it's nice I've not written my first bank of songs and sort of just shoved it to the side and not used them, because I think hopefully in time you'll be able to see that my music's evolved into.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And also you're not tied into a genre that you've already become,
Yeah.
it's just your songs and you've written them, and that's it. It doesn't have to be anything specific.
Yeah, because when people say to me like, what genre is it, and I just say, well, it's just me with my guitar.
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
really hard question, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's my least favourite
I
question.
hate the question. Yeah,
I think like the indie folk is such a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
yeah.
It can go in any
You can
direction.
go either way, can't
Yeah,
you?
well,
Yeah.
even with when I released my EP, I don't know if you had a similar thing with when you go through a kind of system to release your songs on Spotify, for example, it gives you a question of like, okay, you have to select which genre you're in. And
Yeah,
I was going through all the options like, well, could be that and it's a bit of that. And I feel like that's, I guess, where you stand, where you're like, it's not just singer-songwriter, because that just sounds like a cliche, doesn't it? But
exactly.
but yeah.
They say pick 3, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah,
I could
definitely.
probably pick 6. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, similar to when I was looking at putting this podcast on Spotify, and the closest one I could think of was entertainment. But I
Yeah,
I don't think we've been that entertaining recently. So what were some of the biggest challenges that you came up against when you first started writing your own tracks then?
Well, money. It's a
Yeah,
big one.
covers gigs
Yeah.
are the money makers, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. So when I was writing my own stuff and taking it to the studio, it's like, oh, you have to pay for this. But yeah, I'd say money. So also like I went into full time music sort of thing. And
Yeah.
I came straight out of uni. Like I'm doing music full time, and so I had my cover gigs on a weekend or whatever. But it's finding
That's a big leap.
yeah, and then having sort of never really written a song before, and it's like finding, and I think it's just finding your groove and like getting a routine and what have you. But you've only got 3 gigs in the week, and trying to get your name out there and just starting up, as we were discussing earlier. Just starting up that
Taking
social
that first
media
step.
and but I've overcome it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm cracking on. So,
Yeah, it's a big hurdle, like that first step, that the confidence that it needs to just say, right, I'm doing this,
yeah,
and and to put yourself out, because essentially, you've got to get over the fact that you're putting yourself out for other people's approval, almost.
It
Do you
is
know what I
that,
mean?
yeah,
That's kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
the basis of what we do, is that hopefully someone enjoys it.
Yeah.
But in equal concept, people are not going to enjoy it, and it's about just being able to go, I'm fine with that. I can deal with that because I enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it exactly.
And thankfully, a few people enjoy like what we're doing here.
yeah.
There's a few people that seem to be listening and watching,
Yeah,
which is great. And
Yeah.
I when we first started it, I never thought that'd be a case. It's just I hoped it would, but you can't tell until you've done it. Essentially, is what I'm saying. And
Yeah, I think when I made that first song with my producer Tim, and we did it in like an afternoon. I went into the studio first, and I wanted to get like a video done for all my covers. So like I was going to do weddings and things like that. So like just a snippet of like some covers that I do, and then I was like, well, I've written this song, and it's like, can we try and put it down? And Tim works at Bakeland Studios in Leeds. He's brilliant, and he was just like, yeah, mate, let's crack on. So it was sample drums. I just played it with my guitar, and we put some electric on it and stuff, and it was done. And it's not on Spotify anymore. I took it off just to sort of start fresh with this EP.
Yeah.
But everyone's been saying to me like, why have you done that? And I love that one.
People do, don't they?
Yeah. And I think so I did get that approval, but at the start of it all, it was nerve-wracking really, because it was like, I don't know whether this is good or not. And it's obviously, I knew I'd just started out, the first song I'd ever written, and so yeah.
Do you think your songwriting has already evolved from the early days then? Like, are there any particular songs that mark a significant milestone in your songwriting kind of evolving?
Yeah, my songwriting's evolved. I think I feel personally it's got better. Like I enjoy the songs more that I'm writing.
Yeah.
I don't know about a particular song. I mean, I wrote a bank of songs essentially, which is what my EP's around. And then I had a bit of a break, and I tried to have a think about how I want, like, if I wanted to go down a new direction. I was thinking maybe do I computerize it a little bit more?
Yeah, that's always the question. Isn't
yeah,
it? Yeah.
And then I thought, you know what? No, and I wanted some bigger choruses, and I my early stuff's quite maybe it's a bit more folky. My newer stuff's maybe a bit more indie. So I wanted to go down that route a little bit more. There's probably one of the new ones is maybe a starter where I was thinking about being on a big stage and writing for that. And
rather than just writing for yourself.
Exactly. Which some people might say is, you shouldn't do that. You should write for yourself. You should enjoy what you do. But I thought at the time, nah, I want to make sure that if I do stand on a big stage one day, I will be able to have a song that it's catchy, it's big chorus, people can sing back.
Yeah.
So I wrote to a bit of a spec in that respect.
You gotta have a banger.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's an interesting concept for writing though as well,
Yeah, this come up a lot, hasn't it, of who are we writing for?
Yeah, who are we writing for? And I think we can often get stuck in a rut writing.
Yeah.
So giving yourself a brief sometimes helps you to expand out of that circle that you're evolving in, and you might learn something that you never expected to, and it's something that might come back into the songs that you write for yourself then, because you think, oh God, this, I never even thought about putting this section there, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting concept for developing as well.
I think that's that's the main thing about it's not my first point about evolving. And, I'm learning new things all the time. I've got an amazing team of musicians around me at Bakerland, and it's just like, it's brilliant because they're always there, leeching off their experiences and helping me, and
just surrounding yourself
evolving
with creative people.
It's class. I love it.
Speaking of kind of like bigger stages and things like that, what are your favourite venues to play, or what's been your favourite?
So I did a gig last year at the Brudenell in Leeds.
Oh, I love Brood. It's such a cool venue, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, nice.
I definitely think that, supporting Philip Seth Campbell there.
Nice.
So that was a really good gig, and I loved it. I love playing that.
It always feels so warm there, doesn't it? Like, obviously in temperature, but also the crowd always just seems so supportive, even of support acts, rather than, you can play a lot of venues where people show up 5 minutes before the main acts are on, whereas I feel like when I go to the Brudenell, it's always packed before doors are even open. Like, really supportive venue.
It was good when I did that, because I'd sort of been used to up till then doing my covers, and you play to a room of people, don't you? And they're sort of listening, but they're having their own conversation. That's brilliant. That's fine. Like I don't have a problem with that. But it's very different to then go and stand on a stage at Brudenell, and it's like
all the
hear a pin drop.
And I'm looking at everyone going, just start speaking, like just do something else. I'm not used to this anymore.
It's the beauty of big
nice.
stage lights as well, though.
You can't see anyone.
Yeah. I could see some of them, and they're all like this at me, and I'm like, oh, please, like just have a chat or just ignore me for a bit.
Go get a beer.
Go get a beer, exactly. Yeah.
One of our favourite questions, given that we are called Indie Tea Talk after all, is if your music was a flavour of tea, what would it be and why?
Right.
I'm gonna do the spoiler for you.
Go on.
We're just gonna put the marker down that you forgot to bring your tea with you.
I didn't think you'd mention that.
Oh, I'm throwing you straight under the bus. There's no,
Definitely.
you can't hide on this podcast, I'm afraid.
Yeah. So we were going to go and buy the most classic Yorkshire tea straight down the road, because obviously from Yorkshire.
Absolutely.
And I'm not, that is the only tea I drink, so I'm not that expert really.
Right,
in
okay.
all these other teas. But what I could do is relate to experience, and I'm driving to work in the morning. I get up early, I drive across the M62, and it's 2 hours in the car. I've got my flask of tea, and I'm thinking about my tunes, and like, and I'm listening to other songs and stuff, and like trying to think, oh, that'd be cool, or using that and stuff. So I guess that is just the experience of me thinking about my tunes, and where I want to go next. And it's 2 hours in the car to yourself.
Do you
know what I mean?
Always resets, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even in like if I've ever been recording in a studio or before a gig, or if you do just sit down and have a cup of tea, it's always quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Little reset, little thing.
Might be dodging the question a bit there.
No, that's fine.
But,
and we love a cup.
Dodging that you didn't bring the tea.
Dodging I didn't bring the tea, and I didn't know what fruity tea to say. So
no, but that's
you don't
fine,
need
though.
to
It
say
doesn't need
fruity
to
tea.
be
We
fruity
love
tea.
Yorkshire tea.
Yeah, Yorkshire tea.
That's what- well,
You've
to be
actually just
fair-
reminded me about my tea.
I know.
That's what we're all drinking
In our
now. So
lovely
branded.
Indie Tea Talk.
I'm trying to face it to the camera. So
Oh dear.
Did you hear that slurp?
Slurper.
Perfect. Brilliant. So it's time for your first live track. What are you going to perform for us today? And do you want to tell us a little bit about it, or do you want us to take our own sort of?
Okay. So this first one is Stood in Disguise. And it's about someone not seeing their own like beauty in a way, to be honest.
Right.
And just telling them that and saying you are.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So it's a bit of a lovely song. There's quite a few of them.
That's all right. It's all right. Lovely. Well, let's give it a listen. Thank you very much.
Nice one.
I think it might be your eyes that make me fall for you 1,000 times. I think it might be your smile that lights up the room and tends to drive me wild. I think it might be your laugh that's so infectious it's hard not to catch. And I think it might be the way you give out your heart to those who need you from the start. I get impatient, wish you could see it through my eyes. But maybe someday, somehow I'll make you realize beneath your beauty there's so much that takes me by surprise. Perfect picture stood in disguise. 'Cause I don't like you when we fight, it don't feel right. There's so many better things to do at night. And I don't like you when you cry and you don't know why. Just know that I'll be there to wipe your tears dry. I get impatient, wish you could see it through my eyes. But maybe someday, somehow I'll make you realize beneath your beauty there's so much that takes me by surprise. Perfect picture but stood in disguise. Disguise. Stood in disguise. I get impatient, wish you could see it through my eyes. And maybe someday, somehow I'll make you right. Beneath your beauty there's so much that takes me by surprise. Perfect picture but stood in disguise. The perfect picture but stood in disguise.
So your new EP, Letters,
Yeah.
set for release on the 4th of October, launch date on the 9th, if that's right.
That's right. You've heard the 4th of October here first, actually. I've not announced that yet.
Is
But-
it not
so that's
announced
good.
yet?
That's good.
Oh,
No, it's not announced yet. So there you go.
Exclusive. Get some big flashing things going around there. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration for this project?
You know, I started off with just having never really written a song, and I started these tunes, and I guess so. It's called Letters because at the end of it all, I sort of realised, well, these are actually just a bunch of letters essentially that I'm writing for people and to
Right.
people. So that sort of worked, but I got you know, I guess it's just a tip to sort of Jack, my mate, who was telling me to go for it.
Yeah.
I had my uncle and my parents just saying like just go for it, just do it. So I guess that inspiration in a way was just get on with it really and just
That's
do it.
nice that you had that support network as well.
So
'cause
good, yeah.
a lot of parents and friends can be not as supportive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice that they were encouraging you to take the leap rather than trying to deter you.
Yeah. No, it made me feel comfortable to just think about it and just do it and just properly give it the time it needed. Do you know what I mean? And not feel like I needed to jump into a job straight away or anything like that.
Yeah,
It was,
nice.
Yeah, it's good.
So your songwriting process, how do you usually go about writing a new song?
Yeah, so I don't know. It's one of them where you do it all the time and then you don't really know when you relay it. But I think I'd probably say I come up with the chords first, I think. And then,
Right.
do you know what I mean? And then I'll find nice chords and I'll think, right, what do I want to write about? What's been going on? And yeah, I think what I've started doing now is asking for other people's experiences of something.
Right.
And I think asking them questions.
Mm-hmm.
And they come back to me with these answers and I'm like, oh, that's so good. Oh yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
you
a new-
put them down on your notes on your phone? And that,
Got them all on my notes on my
That's
phone.
cool.
Yeah, that's a real common running theme. That.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if I've spoken about Olivia Dean too much.
I love
Perhaps,
I love
perhaps,
yeah,
but-
Olivia Dean's
But
class.
her song Carmen,
Yeah.
I saw her live in Leeds and she spoke about that, and it's about her grandma. But there's a little clip of her like telling the story of how she came over to England and la. And I really love that. I don't think I write like that a lot.
Yeah.
Where I guess I'm quite scared to sing for other people. It's quite a scary thing, isn't it? And the pressure of like doing their story justice. But that song really made, the first time I heard that song, I was like, oh, we should write for other people more. Like, it's a really lovely idea, and kind of like just tipping your hat to people.
That's exactly what it is, really. And it's definitely a new way of doing it for me. So yeah, I think it's good, and I think it just gives you different ideas. You know, because sometimes you can exhaust all your personal feelings. Just like, oh man, like,
I'm only so deep.
Yeah,
God.
right, innit? So I'm like, right, I need some other song inspiration.
Do you
here.
find
like,
that sometimes if you're like super happy, I have this problem where I think I'm a fairly happy person, but sometimes if like things are going too well and you're too happy, you're like, fuck am I going to write about? Like,
completely agree.
I had a nice coffee this morning, you know, like the sun was out, and you're like, it's not a very interesting song, is it? Like, God.
Yeah.
Too cliche.
I think I'm quite a self-destructive person in general. so like if things start going too well, I start looking for the things that are going wrong. I think I'm fine with that one. I'll find them. So obviously we've mentioned working with your best mate, who's the bass player. Does he get? So you're starting to do more bandy stuff. Does the band get involved in the songwriting? As that sort of collaboration influenced your music as well, or?
Yeah, so the band definitely do get involved. Jack just comes along and just plays.
I love that.
But yeah, there's been, so Tim he has a lot of influence. George, my drummer as well, he's had a lot of influence in my new stuff. And what I quite enjoy at the minute is getting everyone in a room. And so I've come with an idea and then getting everyone in a room and then just jamming it.
Right.
So it's like, you know, oh, we could do this here, or we could do this here. Oh yeah, let's run that. And it's a lot, and you record in the session as well. And it's a really good way of getting those ideas down.
And inspiring yourself to get creative with it. I think sometimes there's only so many chords you can play through with a song until... Then when you get a band in, it really inspires you to be like, actually, I think I really like this song, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, definitely. But like, even just like having a drummer change a beat or like change something, it can change the song completely. And
absolutely.
It's like,
I was just thinking that how the space that you can leave in between chords and how it can fit like a bass or a drum note or just another instrument that can just sit in there, and all of a sudden the song it completely transforms into something else.
Exactly,
So having that opportunity to like demo it first and then bring it into a group of musicians to to just get a different perspective as well. You know, like we were saying about having exhausted your personal issues or whatever you write about, like exhausting your personal sort of music. Not capabilities, but experience. You get to a point where you need something to jump onto the next, like, oh, I'm going to go down this path now. And
I didn't want to be stubborn in the fact of like, this is my music. Like this.
Yeah.
I wanted to invite people in, and to be honest, I'm really lucky. I've got the studio. Andy's like really got a group of people there that you can rely on, that are really, really unbelievable musicians, and letting them in is just like transformed my music.
And also
really.
Hearing how amazing musicians can embellish your songs is so exciting. Like I think it's really important to be open-minded and I guess not gatekeep your songs, because sometimes people can be like, oh no, I don't want to bring musicians in because I'm scared I won't like what they do. But I'm not being funny. 90% of the time, if you've got an amazing musician and you're like, oh my God, how did you do that? Sounds amazing.
Definitely.
If anything, it just turns into jealousy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
You walk away thinking, you bastard.
You've just transformed my song. It's a good thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Have you got any fun recording session stories?
Oh, I don't know, I feel like it's all business when we're in the studio.
Oh, is it?
Tim's very good at just like, right,
straight down the line,
head down, right, we're cracking on. But then Andy comes in and he distracts everyone. And
Right.
so
Andy's the trouble causer.
he's the talker.
Right.
And it's like, right, can we just get on with this now? But
Yeah.
we're always having a laugh. It's
We're
always a good
quite
laugh.
bad for that here, where
Oh, terrible.
because we're excited to have guests in,
Yeah.
and we're generally excited to speak about their music and what we're doing here, that we can sit and chat. I guess similar to like we did this morning.
Yeah.
We can sit and chat, and
For
then
too
suddenly
long.
we check the time. And we're like,
You're like, yeah.
oh, it's 1:00. Like we need to actually record something.
crack on.
Yeah.
All that good conversation that we've had, we're going to have to repeat now. Because
Yeah, exactly. I know we should just press record the second
know,
someone
yeah.
steps foot in the door, shouldn't we?
Absolutely. So, looking ahead,
Yeah.
what are some of the goals that you've kind of set yourself for your music career over the next, let's say, year or so?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I've got like some massive shows coming up, so smash them first. But
Yeah.
so I'm supporting Embrace on their Out of Nothing tour in November, which is just
Amazing.
amazing for me. I can't thank them enough, really.
Where are you supporting them? What?
So I'm doing Manchester Academy on the 16th of November, and then Nottingham Rock City on the 20th of November. So like massive stages, like lots of people.
It's a good job you wrote that song, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so no, that's my first thing, is just to get through those, and then I'm doing a few other shows. So I'm supporting Chris Helm, and
Amazing.
We
Where's
love
that?
Chris
And then-
Helm.
that's in
You can't remember.
near
do you?
Liverpool,
All right.
but I can't remember the exact. What's it called? I don't know. Anyway,
Just put it in. Near Liverpool, Chris Elton.
yeah.
Danny Clement. It'll come up.
And yeah, so I've got a few shows like coming up,
Mhm.
which would be really good. So yeah, get through those, and then so I'm going to be playing Letters, the EP, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to be playing a lot of the new stuff as well. And then so yeah, once we've done that tour, if you will, and then after that, just crack on, keep writing, and then hopefully get some festivals and things like that next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Um,
pretty solid plan.
Yeah.
You're much
Sounds
more
more
organised
solid
than
than
we
my
are.
general life
Yeah,
plan.
well, yeah. I've got Andy to thank for that too.
Oh, thank goodness.
He's on it. But
Does he want to come and give us some planning
yeah,
lessons?
yeah.
Yes, please, Andy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So, and obviously, you've got your EP launch as well,
Yeah.
which we've just exclusively revealed.
4th of
Yeah,
October.
I know.
4th of October.
9th
Yeah.
is the launch.
Yeah.
So that obviously that's a big landmark moment for you. Where are you doing? Where are you doing your launch? How can people find it?
Yeah,
Where can
so
they get tickets?
the launch is on the 9th of October at York, in York at the Crescent.
Oh, nice.
Amazing venue.
So yeah, should be really. I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, you can get tickets on my Instagram bio, Danny Clement _official. Got tickets there. So yeah, it should be a really good night. Got a support act to be announced. All that sort of stuff coming. So yeah,
Exciting.
Be good.
Exciting times.
Nice.
Let's jump back into another one of your live sessions then. Same again. Do you want to give us a bit of a rundown of what you'll be playing?
yeah. So this one is called The Words. It's the first track on my EP, and it's just me and my guitar. So it's the only one on there that's just me and my guitar.
That's nice. You've
um,
still got a little
yeah,
snippet
yeah,
of that.
so-
It's like a tip of the hat.
Tip of the hat back to the old,
Yeah,
yeah.
the old days. So yeah.
Perfect. Lovely. Thank you very much.
I'll hold you in my arms forever. Hold you tight and won't ever let go. 'Cause I've seen the way you tend to fall in love, and I'm wondering if forever can be. So help me find the words to pull this through, 'cause I know that it's you I'll hold on to. As the sun sets to your favorite tune, I tell you that I'll be home soon. It's like we've always been together. You caught me at a time when I was low. Now my worries pass me by in the blink of an eye. Your magic, it's as if they can fly. So help me find the words to pull this through. 'Cause I know that it's you I hold on to. As the sun sets to your favorite tune, I tell you that I'll be home soon. As the sun sets to your favorite tune, I tell you that I'll be home soon.
So we've got a couple of quickfire questions before we wrap up this episode.
Cool.
First and foremost, we're about to have lunch.
Yeah,
I've got a really important question. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
absolutely not.
Thank you very much. Moving
No.
on.
What's your go-to karaoke song, and how would you rate your performance on a scale of 1 to 10?
You're setting me up for failure there, because if I say 10, then everyone's going to think I'm big-headed.
You
If I
are going to say 10, though, aren't you?
If I say 1, they're going to be like, come on. The one I've done recently is Stick Season, because it's quite popular at the minute. Everyone knows it.
I have no idea what that is.
Stick Season, Noah Kahan, you know, and I love them all, but it's the season of the sticks, and I... You not heard it?
No, I
You've
think I
not
have.
heard that song?
Mate,
Have I been living under a rock?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have. Do you have Instagram? It's on every Instagram reel.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've gone for that. I quite like that one.
That's also not too much of a belter. It's kind of a...
Yeah, it's in my key, you know, so
Oh,
it
nice.
just works.
I did karaoke for the first time ever recently.
Shut up.
I've never done it. I think because people are like, oh, you
Yeah.
fucking sing. Like,
I'm
you can't
exactly
do
the same.
karaoke. And I fucking loved it. I did Natasha Bedingfield. It was brilliant.
There's a karaoke bar in Leeds, I think, and you get your own little booths.
I've seen that,
So
yeah.
you go into like a little room, get your drinks
That's
in there.
what we
You've got
had.
a table.
It was Roxy in York. But it might be
Right,
Roxy in
right.
Leeds that have got the same thing. But
I've done one of them.
they're great.
I've done one of them at uni. It's really good.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I say it with karaoke. It was actually just a lock in at a pub, and someone
right.
handed me a microphone and went, "Come on!" And I was
Oh,
like,
that's so
but
cute.
I never normally do karaoke for the reason you've just said.
Yeah,
'cause it's
yeah.
like, get
People are
off,
just
mate.
like, yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it seems a bit triad, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You've done a real good job of deviating away from answering the one out, the out of 10 part of it. 5. Wow.
Wow.
Straight down
All right,
the middle.
10.
Perfect, right.
That's what we
Egotistical,
like.
great.
Back yourself.
So if you could only listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
I love 1975. I think
yeah.
they're just class, and the music's so interesting that I could never get bored of listening to it. So I'm going to go Looking for Somebody to Love, 1975.
Beautiful.
That was actually a quick decision.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking.
Me too.
It's between a few on that album. I think that album's class.
At least it's like within the same album. Though.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of wraps us up.
Cool.
But before we go, how can people find you on your social media? On where are you?
So Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and it's all Danny Clement _official.
Dead easy.
Dead easy.
Dead easy. And you've got tickets on your Instagram for your launch.
Yeah, for launch, for the Embrace, for the Chris Helm, for all
so
the
you
dates on the tour are on that link. So yeah,
Oh, nice.
come to all of them, but come
Yes.
to any of them.
So it's come to all of them.
Yeah, just let's
Just
leave
come
it at
to
that.
all of them.
Just come
Yeah.
to all of them.
That's fine.
Full stop.
Cool. Well, that kind of wraps up another episode of Indie Tea Talk. I'd just like to give a big thank you
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you so
To
much
Danny
for having me on. It's
for-
been really nice.
Yeah, it's been really nice. It's been a lovely morning,
Yeah.
breaching well into the afternoon.
Yeah.
Timekeeping is not our forte today. But yeah, so please remember to give Danny a like, a follow, a subscribe, whatever the social media platform is requesting of you. And if you could as well, it'd be really helpful if you could hit subscribe for us on our YouTube and Instagram and everything. So yeah, until next time, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.